Okay, today's chapter 6, functions. Just like methods from Java, we have functions. Sounds like I just said this already. So what do we got? We had a couple of, if I started writing down information, if I said to you, camera, get over here to my dot cam, boom, go to view speaker, boom, and me. If I said to you, tell me what you know about methods from Java. What do you know about methods from Java?
Encapsulation.
Encapsulation. That's a heck of a word. I hope I can spell it. Encapsulation. What's that mean? What's the encryption of encapsulation? Yeah,
It's referring to the scope of variables and what can be seen. You can call a method without having access to the information inside.
I like that last part. It's a block of code that's sitting somewhere for us to use. Okay? So I'm not going to write all that out. It's a block of code and it's already done. And these methods we're writing are blocks of code. Saves us some time because it's already written. It's reusable. I don't have to keep writing that same block of code over and over and over. It helps us, and this is a big asterisk, break a big problem into smaller problem. There's something that was developed a long time ago. It was called a hierarchy chart. A hierarchy chart. Hierarchy chart. And this is one of those things where we say, all right, my problem that we just talked about not too long ago is calculate pay. Boom. Now, what do I have to do? Well, I'm going to break this up and I'm going to say, we're going to divide the work here. We're going to break this up. We're going to double quote, divide and conquer. Conquer.
Is
So I said,
Conquer
I
kind of
got to
like
calculate the
modulus?
pay. And this is what I like to do. I like to run the show on things and break it up into problems and say, you go do this, you go do that. Andrew and Taylor, what are you doing again?
I said it in here, you just weren't listening.
What'd you say?
I said, is Conquer kind of like modulus? Because we're going to divide and conquer.
Uh,
It's
okay.
funny if you just don't think about it and you heard a different joke that was actually
Laughing,
funny.
okay? I'm laughing. All right, because I was actually thinking divide and multiply, but that was wrong. So one of the things might be to come over here and say, well, I need to take care of the input. So and so, so and so, and so and so, and you guys are in charge of doing the input. What do you need to do for the input? Well, we're going to take this problem and break it up and conquer it. We're going to have to do something like input the rate, input the hours. So all of a sudden, you start to see where I'm divided. Now I need to do my calculations. And how do I possibly break up calculations? And this could be special blocks of code there. I might need to divide this up and what do I have for output? And divide that into different things. So this guy called a hierarchy chart can be used to break, and this is where functions and methods come into play. Okay, good, 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 good. We got a little bit of an idea of what's going on here. So coming back, we had two types of methods. Two types of methods. Cross that word out. Put in the word functions. Anybody remember what the two types were?
Void and data returning.
Yeah. First one was void. Second one was value returning. And we kind of didn't like the idea that I can return one thing here I wasn't returning anything here, but what happens if I wanted to return more than one thing? Well, it's going to be a little bit nicer in C++ because we're going to be able to returning, it looks like an M, return things by using our word. Two words. First one starts with an R, second one starts with a V. Reference variables. We're going to be doing reference variables where we're going to be able to return multiple values. It's going to work out nice. Okay, so you typed up code listings. You had like 10 of them. And if I got ready and said, hey, I'm introducing functions, and the way we write functions is a little different than the way you wrote them in Java, because I start out by doing and showing their what.
It's a prototype.
Yeah, I need prototypes here. Prototypes. And yeah, what the prototype says is, hey, I'm going to have a function later, but I'm just giving you the heading now. Okay, it's like the heading. A little bit of thought's gone into what's going on there. And you are shooby dooby doo. You typed up, this book's so heavy. You typed up code listing 6.5. And oh, here we go. Here we go. We have two prototypes. Both of them are void. Both of them have no values being passed. No arguments are going in. No arguments are going in. Okay. So I declare that here's my main, doing some stuff in my main. And now I hit first. First is nothing exciting in here. A simple example of what a prototype is. Now I start to move along. Shooby dooby doo. I come to code listing. Time out. Time in. Code listing 6.7. And this time I have a parameter. Okay. This means I'm passing a value in that's an int. I'm returning a void. These guys down here are called arguments. We got arguments. We have a parameter. When I had more than one parameter, I called it a parameter list. This is a void function. Nothing's coming back. Do you notice I have a block of code down here that I want to keep reusing over and over and over and over? Reusability. Good. Hopefully typing these up, you're going, I'm getting really good at C++. Don't remember anything about Java, but I'm getting good at pound include IO space using namespace STD. Remember when this was causing you a problem early in this semester, forgetting to put that statement in. Here I have showed some. I'm going to be passing in 3 integers. I'm returning nothing. Sending those 3 integers in. Yeah. Did it down here? I now see my parameter list. We used another word for parameter list. Does anybody remember what it was?
Arguments?
No. Arguments are up here. When I call the
Oh,
function,
when you're taking it in. Okay,
yeah,
okay.
these are the 3 arguments. Down here, this parameter list had another name.
Signature.
Yes, excellent. Signature. It was the signature. We like that term because we'll start to use it a couple of times. It's actually called the signature. Okay, good. Moving right along. Now you know why we can do a chapter in one day. So I'm passing a value in. I'm passing in number. And again, you're going to remember I pass in by what's called value. When I call change me, I'm sending over 12. Number is 12. I print it out as 12. I'm sending over the value 12. Remember the other thing that I can pass over. Another type of argument is an address. Right now, I'm sending the variable value of 12. 12 goes in, I work with it, blah, blah, blah. When I come back out, number is still 12. Number does not get changed. Okay? It doesn't get changed. If I send something in as a reference variable, if I throw an ampersand in front of there, whatever changes I make, because remember now I'm passing the address over instead of the value 12. Whatever I make changes at that address will stick when I come back. Okay. Good. Passing by val. These are so good. I'm so excited. We got a 610 was a menu driven program. We're on a roll, and we jumped from what do we got here? I didn't make you do 611, did I? Yes, you did 611. Just a type of data check. I get in here, make sure I don't divide by 0. Nothing real exciting there to cover that. But now we get into returning a value. Conceptually, all of this is the same as what you had before. Okay? My parameters in an int, my return type is an int. I send in the number 20 and the number 4. I do my calculations and I send it back. Okay. Do. Siri wants to help me. I don't want Siri to help me right now. This is a nice one. I return a Boolean. You don't see this very long or very often, but I return a Boolean. Could be used for a bad data check, could be used for a bunch of different things. And we did not do 15. We did 16. The name here is num. The name inside of here is num. I print out the num and it's 1. I go to the function. Num gets a value of 20 and done, and I return. Now, these are different. This is a local variable in the main. It's got a memory address where 1 is stored. This is a totally different variable. It's got a totally different address. This is local. Its scope is just another function. But now, this section is called local and the global variables. Oh boy. Let's see what a global variable is. I declare num. I do my prototype in line 7. I declare num before I get into int. So this num is valid everywhere. We didn't have anything like that in Java. So I can make changes in the main. I can make changes in a method. I can do all kinds of stuff and everything sticks. In the main. In the main, it was 2. I go into another function. It's 2. It's changed to 50. So it was 2. It gets passed into 2 as 2. It gets changed to 50. Do you notice I don't have a return? I don't have a reference variable, but that 50 sticks because it's a global variable. That's like one of the first new things we've had. Otherwise, this course is a piece of cake. Upside down. No. Let's see. 619. I don't think I had you do that one. Slow me down, okay? Slow me down if I start going too fast. Similar to, well, let's see what's going on in this program. Similar to what we have before, we now have something called a static variable. Okay? I go into local, I declare local is 5, I print out 5, I change local to 99. What the heck is that? I didn't make you do that one, did I? No, because it doesn't do anything exciting. Here we go. This is the one that does something exciting. Inside of my function, I declare a variable static. We've seen this word a couple of times. Public static, void, main, da da da. Static. Static makes it stick. So when I declare this, it's local, but it doesn't lose its value every time I come back in the function. So as you can see, it comes in as 0, and I add 1. It leaves, and when it comes back in, this isn't reset to 0. It maintains its old value. So it prints out 1, it becomes 2. Back up the loop, it sends it back in. Might be a time when you're working on total or something, and you need to hang on to a static variable because you want to keep a running total. So this is something that's used inside of the function. It's a static variable. All of a sudden, I'm Sean Connery. Maybe not. Okay, that was 22. 24. And again, this is why we go through the first 6 chapters in like 5 weeks. 24. I have my prototype. I have my prototype. But what can I do with my prototype? People just kept coming up with wild ideas when they created C++. Right? Let's do this. Can we add that? Can we add that? Can we give initial values in case I don't pass anything in? For example, I call display stars. Display stars has a signature with 2 integers. I didn't pass anything in. Guess what's going into columns? 10. Guess what's going into rows? 1. Boom, easy. I like it. I love it. Display stars, I'm only passing in 1 argument. So much for the 10 because columns becomes 5, but my default, it's like a default, my rows is going to be 1. And then, of course, I can say something we didn't see in Java. That's cool. All right. And then finally, the one we like the best. What if I want to be able to change values? This is creating a pointer. We're going to really get into this in chapter 9. This says pass in the address. I want an address coming in. Once I'm there, this guy right here, it says it dereferences it, which means it goes and gets its value. The value is whatever came in and I multiply it by 2. This is dereferencing. This is the address. This is the address. When I dereference it, I can change it. Nice. You did program 625. Quick example of it. You did not do 625. But here's a quick example, a simple example. And I come in and go with this. I call double num. I'm bringing in the address and I double it. Starts as 4 and goes in and becomes 8. Here's the prototypes. We are passing in a reference to an integer value. We're sending in the address of an integer value. We're sending in the address of an integer value. So when I come down here, there's an address coming in. I can input, nice, da 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 da. When I'm doing a single value, I don't have to do this because I have that return type. But a lot of programmers get used to this. Instead of doing a return, they'll send in the address and use it as a reference variable. Ooh. Yeah. Ba, 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 ba. Overloading. We've talked about overloading. We had overloading in 121 when we were doing our Constructors. Remember, we had multiple constructors. What does overloading mean? Well, let's see. I have square, a function name. I have square, a function. These are the same name, but different, in this case, parameters. These are overloaded functions. Same name, different signatures. I think I wrote that down. Nope, I did not. An overloaded function. Overloaded function. Same name, different signatures. Wow, it's hard to write on the book sideways. Okay, that's an example of what we have here in 227. Nice, nice. Here's another example.
Quick question.
Yes,
The signature,
I'm excited. Quick question.
okay. The signature is just the like variables it accepts, right?
The parameter list.
The
Yes.
parameter list, yes.
So here's a
So
signature that's in double. Here's one that's just double.
is it still overloading if it takes in the same variables, but it's a different return type?
Yep. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Again, here we're passing the address of a character over so that we can make a change. Here we're sending in an int and a double or just a double. That's code listing 628. I don't think I made you do that one either, did I? I don't know. I can't
We
keep
stopped at 26.
Yeah, I stop at 26. Okay. So we're all good. Oh, here's a stub. Does anybody know what a stub is?
Comes with your check.
Yes.
I
Yes,
believe
that's a pay stub. Well, it
I
says
believe-
right here, and I think there's a question on the test, so I might as well throw it at you. It's a dummy function that doesn't have any work in it. Did you ever do an outline for a term paper and then you went and you filled in the detail? Well, what if you were setting it up with all of your functions and you had your main and then you went and started writing the function, but you didn't include see out blah 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 blah. You just did void show fees cha 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 cha. Just because all this isn't here doesn't mean it won't still run. Okay, so it's a dummy function that might not have much stuff inside of it. Oh my, that's the end of chapter 6. Short and sweet, not a lot to record. And again, I will take any questions. It was old man hands. Okay, now let's just, again, boy, we're getting half-hour lessons and lots of time to play. But it's time to play. Go to D2L. You should see, I don't know why it says Happy Tuesday, but you should see chapter 6 minwage.cpp. I said, you know me? I said, a CPP. You know me? Somebody share it once you have it up. That way I know you're getting it.
I got you.
Thank you. Just so you know, pretty soon I'm going to be talking longer than a half an hour in some of these classes.
You do have a soothing voice.
No, I don't. I'm that classic person that can't stand my voice. Do 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 do. All right.
There you go. Can you see it now?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. So what's going on here? I gave you a program. Oh, look, line 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Nice. They're a bunch of prototypes. A couple of those happen to be over. Hit control, roll your mouse up. See if that enlarges it, or control plus. There you go. Thank you. Yeah, now I can see them. I have min wage. I have get info. Yes to min wage. Input hours. Yes to min wage. Yeah, okay. The next one I have an overloaded function in line 16 that says get info. Uh-oh, no, wait a minute. It looks like in the first two, the person is making minimum wage. And then we're going to input the number, just the number of hours. In the second two, they're not making minimum wage, so we have to input hours and what the wage is. Kind of a simple program to calculate pay. Okay? But we're now learning how to do the emphasis is on the prototypes. Overloaded functions. Reference variables. So get info means I'm going to be asking the user to input whatever their input hours. Scroll down, please, Jack.
Yep.
I have variables. I say min wage letter. So that means I'm going to have a function that you're going to ask, does this person make minimum wage or not? And it's going to return a Y. Ooh, line 20, minimum wage is 7.25. Oh, that was only a couple of years ago, folks. The minimum wage was 7.25.
Isn't it still?
No, it's closer to Sheets is 15.
I mean, like the federal minimum wage. I thought it was still 7.25.
No, I don't think there is
Yeah,
a federal.
it's
Only state
federal
level.
federal minimum wage is 7.25. We follow
Yeah, it
like
is.
we don't have a state minimum wage, so we just follow federal.
Okay. We can make up whatever the heck we want for minimum
It's rough
wage.
out here, man.
Yeah,
Yes,
you're out
I
of
know.
touch.
I know. Get a job, get a degree. That'll help. All right. So I gave you, oh, look at 49, system pause. That way it holds on the screen so it doesn't go off right away. Yeah, I gave you the main, I gave you the functions. You have to finish the program.
The main's not completely finished, right?
No, you have to write all the functions.
No. Well, yeah, but besides, okay, I understand.
Yeah, my stuff is good. Everything I wrote up above is good. It's not going to run because we don't have any functions, but yeah, my code's pretty. It's indented. I have a left brace and a right brace matching up. We're all good.
I particularly like the comment header at the very beginning. This program, blah, blah, blah. That's very informative.
Yes.
I thought
Yes.
that's what they all said.
No. All right. Cool. Any questions on what you're going to be doing today? All right. Again, next week we start chapter 7. Next Wednesday is our test. You have all day. That works for everybody, unless there's somebody that they go underground on Wednesdays and they can't do. You let me know that, but okay.